Hello everyone, welcome back to our reading through 1 John. We're in chapter 3 today. And the main point in chapter 3 is really ultimately going to be God's love. It starts out by saying, "See what great love the Father has given us, that we should be called God's children, and we are." And that's an amazing truth. That gives us confidence, right? That's a joyful hope that we start this chapter with. And then it ends saying the way that we know that he remains in us is from the Spirit he has given us. So even our confidence, and remember in chapter 2 how we talked about the fact that our works are part of that confidence that we have. And we see here that, man, it's God doing a work in us, right? And so, man, it's all based on God. Right, so let's jump into chapter 3. "See what great love the Father has given us, that we should be called God's children, and we are. The reason the world does not know us is that it didn't know him. Dear friends, we are God's children now, and what we will be has not yet been revealed." Right? We've started, we've received this new eternal life, but we're not done yet. We're not who we're going to be yet. We're still in process. We know that when he appears, we will be like him, because we will see him as he is. And everyone who has this hope in him purifies himself just as he is pure. Everyone who commits sin practices lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. And so just to stop real quick here, it's not everyone who has sinned. It's not everyone who messes up every once in a while. It's like everyone who's living in this lifestyle, everyone who's committing sin, right? This is who they are. This is their lifestyle, right? So I think it's easy for us to read at times and be like, oh man, I messed up. Maybe I'm not really, or maybe I lost it. You can't lose salvation, right? We are going to mess up. We can't be perfect either, right? But if that's our lifestyle, that's a problem, right? It's revealing something in here. You know that he was revealed so that he might take away sins, and there is no sin in him. Everyone who remains in him does not sin. Everyone who sins has not seen him or know him. Again, lifestyle. What was the purpose in him coming? To change us, to save us, right? And so if we're claiming relationship with God but still living in sin, then our actions reveal that our words are not true, right? And we might even say, oh, I can't help myself, it's whatever. If you can't help yourself, that's a depiction of slavery, right? Now that we've been born again, now that we've received this gift of grace from Jesus, we can help ourselves because we have the Spirit in us, right? So we can't say, I can't help it anymore. We're not enslaved. We're no longer condemned or enslaved. We are free, right? And if we're still enslaved while being free, we're actively saying that God's grace was not sufficient for us. It was not able to free us from this enslavement, and it is. "Children, let no one deceive you. The one who does what is right is righteous, just as he is righteous. The one who commits sin is of the devil, for the devil has sinned from the beginning. The Son of God was revealed for this purpose, to destroy the devil's works. Everyone who has been born of God does not sin, because his seed remains in him. He is not able to sin, because he has been born of God. This is how God's children and the devil's children become obvious. Whoever does not do what is right is not of God, especially the one who does not love his brother or sister." Wow. And so this is, man, our works reveal our affiliation, right? Who we belong to. If we're still characterized by the world, in our lusts and our passions and our all kinds of sinful acts, right? Then we're revealing that we belong to Satan. But if we've been changed, truly transformed, right, as a lifestyle overall, right, in our characters, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, right? That's revealing. Our works reveal who our heart belongs to. "For this is the message you have heard from the beginning. We should love one another. Unlike Cain, who was of the evil one and murdered his brother. And why did he murder him? Because his deeds were evil and his brothers were righteous. Do not be surprised, brothers and sisters, if the world hates you. We know that we have passed from death to life because we love our brothers and sisters. The one who does not love remains in death. Right? In Ephesians, it tells us that we were dead in our trespasses and sins, and God came and gave us life. Right? That's not a specific quote. Right? And so here you're seeing that the one who does not love remains dead. Right? You've not been reborn if you're still hating. Right? Loving God and loving others is evidence of our lives being transformed. Everyone who hates his brother or sister is a murderer. Right? That's based off of Jesus' teaching. Right? He said that it's not enough just not to murder. If you hate someone in your heart, you've already murdered them. Right? And so here that's revealed again. And you know that no murderer has eternal life residing in him. You can't actively hate if you have the source of love, the source of life in your heart. This is how we have come to know love. He laid down his life for us. We should also lay down our lives for our brothers and sisters. If anyone has this world's goods and sees a fellow believer in need, but withholds compassion from him, how does God's love reside in him? Little children, let us not love in word or speech, but in action and truth. It's not enough to say stuff, right? We need to do things. We need to not just speak truth, right? But truly have truth in us. And if it's there, it's going to reveal itself in our actions. We can't live the same way if we have truth in us. This is how we will know that we belong to the truth and will reassure our hearts before him when even our hearts condemn us. For God is greater than our hearts, and he knows all things. Again, this gives us confidence, right? This new life he's given us, which changes us, creates evidence which can give us confidence. Dear friends, if our hearts don't condemn us, we have confidence before God and receive whatever we ask from him because we keep his commands and do what is pleasing in his sight. And so that's a depiction there. It's speaking about prayer, right? We can have confidence and we can pray knowing that God's listening and our prayers are even powerful, right? And he's going to answer our prayers as we're obeying him, right? If we're disobeying him, living in opposition to him, right, then we don't really have relationship with him, and then we can't pray with confidence. He's not going to answer the prayers of people who do not belong to him, right? We can't be living in opposition to him and rubbing on that genie lamp, asking for God to do things for us, right? He's like, man, we don't have relationship. Why would I answer your prayers, right? No, we need relationship with him, and then we can talk to him, right? And then relationship with him is what guides our prayers to actually be effective, because it also tells us that when we ask for things according to his name, we're asking it according to his will. So if we're a true believer, we're not asking God for more money, right? And we're not asking for things just for us, selfishly, right? We're asking for things that are going to bring about his kingdom, right? When Jesus taught the disciples to pray, it started out with, praying for God's kingdom in heaven to be here on earth, right? And so it's all praying for things according to God's will. And we're praying for things according to God's will. God is going to answer them. He's working through us and in us. Now this is his command, that we believe in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and love one another as he has commanded us. The one who keeps his commands remains in him, and he in him. And the way we know that he remains in us is from the Spirit he has given us. He has given us his Spirit so that we can have confidence in this relationship, that we can have hope, that we can persevere, that we can keep going. He's enabled us to be faithful. He doesn't just call us to be faithful and says, hey, if you're faithful, I'm going to be faithful. No, he said, man, receive relationship with me. Here's the Spirit so that you can do that which I've commanded you to do. It's like he gives us the cheat codes, right? Here you go. You're going to win. All you can do is win. In the end, we're going to be together. So thankful that our relationship with God depends on God. And so it's our daily prayer then, Lord, help me to abide. Lord, help me to obey and help me to be a good witness and a good testimony in this world of who you are. And just praying for confidence. Lord, continue please to give me confidence so that I can just live out your word and obey you and love you well. And each day as we're abiding, we're just going to fall more in love with him, and that's going to affect how we live. So thanks for joining me for chapter 3, and I look forward to jumping into chapter 4 with you. Have a good day.